What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? I would like to welcome you all to another edition of Wayne's Perspective, where we operate in discipline, decency, integrity, and respect. And I'm coming through with another video just for you. All right. So today I'm going to do another reaction video. Yes, another one, y'all. And this is courtesy of, once again, Brother Harvey from the Your World channel. So shout out to him. Like I've said in previous reaction videos to his content, this brother just keeps coming with it. And this is another one that I was like, okay, when I finished listening to it, the first thought that came to my mind was reaction videos. So we're definitely going to get into that. Now, when it comes to Vivek Ramaswamy, I do know that prior to him announcing that he was going to try to run for president on the Republican side, um, Harvey did do videos on him in the past. And even though I did pay attention to him, it didn't really become urgent, for the lack of a better word, until he started talking about him when his failed presidency candidacy, went by the wayside and stuff like that. That's when I started to really pay attention, and only did that increase after he did that interview with Don Lemon on CNN, which is basically what got CNN to release or fire or whatever you want to call it, Don Lemon. So I'm sure most of you remember that interview, and if you don't, I believe it's still on YouTube. So definitely to go and check that out because you know Don Lemon. I don't have too many flattering things to say about Don Lemon, but let's just say that Don Lemon was right on when he checked him. Basically trying to talk about Black history or something like that. Some comments he was making, trying to, you know, trying to, I don't want to say bring Don Lemon down to his level, but he says some not so accurate things about Black history and stuff like that, and Harvey did some real good videos on that, and if you go through Harvey's archive, you'll see that. And also there was a brother who's on YouTube. I'm not going to call his name. He does good work. And I believe it was either earlier this year or late last year. And I think, well, no, I take that back. I believe this was sometime last year when Vivek was starting his presidential campaign. And this brother did an episode on his show. And right out the gate, he was like, yo, my boy Vivek Ramaswamy. And I'm like, man, I don't want to say the brother was caping, but, he was probably the only person on the YouTube platform specifically who referred to Vivek Ramaswamy as my boy. Like I said, I ain't gonna call his name. And then you had other content creators, Black people, some blacks, not all, but it was some people who was doing posts on him, I guess trying to hype him up to see if he would have been a good candidate, or did we need to listen to what he had to say or whatever. And we listened to what he had to say, and it was clear, what his points were and what he was trying to do. It's clear to most of us he don't like Black people, and he really wants a seat at that table so bad that he's willing to do whatever to get there, even in the case of being insulted to his face, and still wanted to be there. And that's what we're going to take a look at with this video. So again, I mean, and to be clear, he never had a chance at the presidential nomination. I mean, come on now. Whether it was on the Democratic side or the GOP side or the independent side, there's no chance. And I'm surprised he hasn't went away yet, but he's still here, alive and kicking for all of the wrong reasons. But, and I'm just chuckling now, that brother on that video, right out the gate, my boy Vivek Ramaswamy, like, come on, man. But anyway, so we're going to get into this reaction video here. So, like I said, shout out to Brother Harvey at the Your World channel. Be sure to follow him if you haven't done so already. And I want to preface this: fair usage, fair usage. And we're going to go ahead and get the screen shared and get right into the content, y'all.
And culture has always said something or have said something racist. She's always said something racist. She is who she is. And when we point it out, meaning Black people, we always get told that, maybe we're too sensitive, maybe we misinterpret it, or Ann is just being Ann, or she has the right to express her opinion, freedom of speech, and whatnot. But then Ann would say something, or say something like, when she's talking about other groups, she'll say, hey, other groups of blacks joined to the black movement, to the civil rights movement.
And she's what I would call an ultra conservative. That's who
or
she
as I
is.
say, the black movement, the black rights movement. And we say, okay, yeah, well, it's true. And a lot of people, myself, could say, well, she might be saying it because she's been intimate or she's dated Jimmy Walker. But she ain't, but then I thought about it. She ain't the only white person that said this. If you sat down around enough white folk, those who have her views, they would call out the Asian community, the Indian community, the Arab community, the gay community, white women, you know, people who are illegal, the Cuban community, all these different people, and say they have latched on to the black movement. And this is something that people like Malcolm X have said. Dr. King even said, he said in this in a certain way, but he said it, and many others. Yours truly. She's a few years back, she said it on This Week. And the panel with Stephanopoulos tried to push back against it. And they were shocked that she said it. And a lot of us in the community were shocked that she said, because, like I said, Ann Coulter is known for saying racist things.
Yep.
But the other day, when I saw her on Vivek podcast, and she basically told him how she felt about him, and watching the response from the media, I'm like, it's funny how y'all can say that what she said is racist to Vivek, but when she's saying stuff to black folk that we find racist or insulting, y'all duck and dodge dance on it. Yep. Because those entities, those people in the media, those companies are racist. Those people are racist. But see, remember I told y'all, the Indian is the new, I would say, as they say, the new black or the new Asian. What I mean by new black is they the end thing. See, blacks, we were always in, but never really in, meaning you like our culture, but you don't like us. You like the Latinos, but you like them, they give you cover. You like the Asians for what they give you cover. You like the Arab, you like these other communities that give you cover. But the Indian, y'all like because you know they want to be white so bad. They'll go out there and will defend y'all tooth and nail. They'll go harder than any other of these self-hating groups. But they they remind you too much of black folk. Indians' skin just as dark as ours, probably even darker in some cases. But they'll run away, they want to run away from it. Vivek and all these other Indians, they go hard for white supremacy, but they would never be accepted. I guess they forgot when 9/11 happened, it wasn't just going after the people, the Arab persuasion. A lot of people couldn't tell the difference. They feel they Muslim, they all terrorists.
Oh yeah, and I remember that time, man. And I seen a few documentaries about that. You know, most of them are a little bit older, but yeah, when it came to, you know, Muslims and people who came from the third world after 9/11, I mean, you want to talk about just, you know, just how you look, how you speak, you know, all of that, you know, all of that was traced back to, okay, you could be a terrorist, you could be from here, you could be from there, you know, are you with Al-Qaeda? Are you with this place? Are you with that place? What do you identify as? You know, that was a real thing at the time, you know, so much so that, you know, like I said, documentaries was made about that. And, you know, and like Harvey has always said, it wasn't black people that was coming out and saying all those hateful things and basically stereotyping Muslims or people of Muslim descent. You know, it was mostly whites that were doing that. You know, that's just being honest. Now, if there was some black people that was doing it, it was a very small number of people doing that, but it wasn't so out there. It wasn't in the open. It wasn't public, you know, but you had Muslims at that time directly after 9/11 just being, you know, discriminated against heavily. And it was crazy, you know, just because, you know, one group that was associated with that level of terrorism, that doesn't mean that an entire group of people are terrorists or an entire group of people sympathize with those guys. Now, you do have people that sympathize with them and their cause, but not every Muslim, just like if one black man is convicted of some heinous, that doesn't mean that all black men are nothing but troublemakers. I never understood that line of thinking. So I just wanted to step into that. We're gonna let Harvey continue here.
But then again, if you think of some of these attacks, some of these terrorist attacks, some of them have been Muslim, excuse me. But for some reason, we ain't supposed to talk about that. For some reason, we ain't supposed to acknowledge that. For some reason, we just supposed to ignore that. I warned y'all 3 years ago about Vivek, about his racism. When he thought Ann Coulter was making a joke about black folk, he had that smile.
Yeah, and again, you say it with me, y'all. Those who've been listening to my videos, y'all know what I'm about to say. Everything is a damn joke to these people until some touches them. Everything is a damn joke to them until something touches them.
But when Ann said, "How was going to vote for you? You're Indian," he had like he got kicked in the groin. At the beginning of that podcast, he was trying to be cute. The other N word is nationalism. It was a dig. He was trying to be funny about black folk.
That's when trying to be clever goes wrong.
And then as him and Ann talk, it came right back to black folk. I don't believe in reparations or affirmative action.
Okay, now let me stop it right there. Okay, now I know Harvey is going to talk more about this in the video, but seriously, what the hell does black people have to do with this? And like Harvey always said, they want to bring us into things that have nothing to do with us. This was a conversation between him and Miss Coulter. Why bring black people into this? Just why? And then the reparations. Now, I just want to say this. I'm gonna make a brief comment on this, and then I'm gonna let the video continue. But I do want to encourage you to go back into my archives and check out the video that I did on reparations. Like I said before, as a future politician, I'm all for reparations. I believe that in terms of my people, quote unquote, my people, we deserve that. But the gist of my video was that, even though we deserve it, I think it should be, conditioned. Because I'm gonna tell you something, and like I said, I'm gonna just make this brief because my video on this says it all. My thing is that why should the reparations be conditioned? Because you don't want to dish out, or should I say, you don't want disbursements to go out to our people, and all we're going to do is, money, cars, clothes, BBLs and stuff like that, shoes and all that stuff. Because I'm gonna tell you something, mark my words, the day that we see reparations, if the people, and y'all know who I'm talking about, if they see that we're that kind of, I don't want to say reckless, but let's just say physically irresponsible with that level of cash, it's going to be the last time that we ever get anything on that level again. Mark my words, y'all. That's why, I'm going to make it brief. So again, go back and check my video on reparations and you'll see why I feel that they should be conditioned. It makes perfect sense to me because you don't want to just make it be a handout and it be for nothing. You want to purpose that and make it be conditioned so that it's going to benefit not just us overall, but it benefits us in the long term. Then maybe down the road, if we're entitled to something else, we'll get it. And it shouldn't have to take decades upon decades upon decades upon decades to get it. That's my point. So like I said, please go back in my archives and check out the reparations video, and dare I say, it's a good video, y'all.
Now, the thing is, Vivek is not the first Indian to have anti-black hatred. Remember Gandhi? I remember when we was kids, when they talk about Dr. King, all we did was just sing the praises of Gandhi. But I remember when I first heard about how Gandhi felt about black folk, I had to be, fourth grade? And I had two female teachers that said, yo, we're not going to lie to y'all about Gandhi. And as I progressed through grammar school and into high school, and I started watching documentaries, and my parents started talking to me about it, That's when you found out about it. That's why a lot of black folks, when people talk about Gandhi, they say, hey, yo, Gandhi didn't like black folk. He despised black. You go read some of his writings. He hated black people. This is why we notice now they don't even mention Gandhi no more. When they talk about Dr. King, but back in the day, Gandhi, that's all you heard. Hey, Dr. King and Gandhi. Dr. King was inspired by Gandhi. Yeah, about the protests and stuff to a certain extent. If you pay, and I told you guys, if you pay attention to the TV shows, the commercials and movies, you see a lot of Indians in commercials now.
We sure do. It's been a lot of that within recent times. He's right about that.
Watch how they depict it. Remember that guy came out and he was talking about Apu, the Simpsons character. He was complaining how they was depicted, and he picked the Simpsons character. He went after an animated character. Here it is. You guys kill me. How y'all complain about how y'all being depicted, but y'all come into the very neighborhoods and own the stores. Apu wasn't that far. Actually, the Simpsons cleaned the character up. To be honest with you, they really didn't depict Apu the way they should depict him. I mean, they could have really went in, but they didn't like that. Y'all set up here, y'all parents and grandparents came to our community, brought all that poison into our community. They got liquor stores all up in our neighborhood that you can't take in their neighborhood. Do you think I can go into a predominantly Indian community and open up a business? You think they support it? Hell no.
And let me pause it right there for a bit. When Harvey mentioned that about the liquor stores and stuff like that, whenever I hear something like that being mentioned or talked about, it always takes me back to what Lawrence Fishburne's Furious Styles character said in Boys in the Hood when he was giving the brother some knowledge in the neighborhood and stuff like that. One thing that he said, he was like, why is there a liquor store on every single corner in the black neighborhood? He was like, why? They want us to kill ourselves. You go over to Beverly Hills, you don't see that shit. I always remember that. That still sticks out to me, 30 some years after the fact. And that was, granted, that was in the movie, but that was a real actual quote. Because that's exactly why you saw a lot of that. And I wouldn't be surprised if present day 2024, we still see the same things,
A few years back, a young woman gave birth to a baby, threw the baby off a balcony here in Chicago. And the media, they said it without saying it, but she had a baby by a black dude. If you know a lot of these stories, when they said their Hindu father and mother found out that their daughter was married to it was a couple of stories. I remember it was one, Forest. The father killed his daughter and her husband because she was with a black man. He burnt up the damn building because he found out that his daughter was with married a black man. So when Ann Coulter said what she said to him, I didn't feel sorry for that. I laughed. Because these Indians, and I know usually I do not all, but I had to go back to my experiences growing up and my observations. I only come across maybe one or two in my life that been cool. And I've come across quite a few in my life. Ann Coulter ain't the only one that looks at them a particular way. Vivek and his wife went out there and was pandering. Ann Coulter sat there and insulted him just like them people he was trying to pander while he was running for president. And he didn't call them racist. But when you had black folk that he wasn't attacking Vivek, he attacked them, called them racist, called them worse than the Klan. Remember that?
I remember.
Black folks didn't do nothing to Vivek. Every time he talk about black folk, he's slamming us. But Ann Coulter and Sean Hannity, Donald Trump and many others in the media, they've come at him like nasty.
Yep, they don't like him.
Vivek gets whatever he gets, whatever he got coming to him, because he seemed to think that he wants to be accepted by the so-called dominant so bad he will sell his soul.
Yep, in a heartbeat.
Y'all heard me use a term and this is a term where they call people who are Arab or Indian. They call them sand niggas.
It's a lot of history behind that term, y'all.
These people try to run away from who they are. They know who they come from. They try to say, I'm Asian. I'm East Asian. All you motherfuckers got brown skin. Where you can get your brown skin from? Vivek and Nikki Haley and them and Dinesh D'Souza and many more of them, they couldn't come. If it was for black folks marching and getting shot at, getting fire hose, getting firebombed, getting lynched, y'all still be right over there with the cows. You still be walking through filth. See, nobody don't like people like Vivek. You're playing the game a little too hard.
Exactly.
The founding fathers, see, that's their shtick. They the only one to wrap themselves around a flag and get away with it. You can't do it because they know it's not authentic. Yeah, you was born here, you first generation American, but they never gonna see you as American. See,
that's right.
Arnold Schwarzenegger wasn't even born here, but they gonna look at Arnold Schwarzenegger because he's white. Arnold Schwarzenegger wasn't even born here, but they made sure he was governor. They would never accept you.
I know.
See, at least if you was a Democrat, you might have a chance. And then if you was a little bit lighter and and your name, if you had a different name, maybe you'd be accepted.
Yeah, maybe.
But your skin too dark, bro, and you too phony.
And very condescending and arrogant.
Ann Coulter has said some racist shit, but I don't think she ever been that blunt with a black person. I can't. If she has, I don't recall. And Ann Coulter said a lot of racist shit towards black folk, but she ain't never been that blunt and said that's a black person. She might have said, "Oh, you're a Democrat. I can't vote for you," but she ain't never said, "You're black. I can't vote for you because you're black." She said, "I couldn't vote for you because you're Indian."
She said
she don't care how much. She said she liked your policies. She liked the way you think, but she said she don't know. She don't like you.
And she look, check this here. She wasn't playing. She wasn't joking. You know, she meant what the hell she said. You know, it was no joke. So, you know, nothing that she said was taken out of context. She said what she said, and she meant what the hell she said. It wasn't no slip of the lip.
I mean, he lost his best friend when she said that. But then he turned around and he still wouldn't slam.
Of course, because you see, the thinking here is that, I thought from their point of view, I was one of them. So now when you get checked the way that you do, now you're in your feelings. But I guarantee you, and I'm probably going to mention this again in the video, I guarantee you if that was a black man doing that interview or even a black woman doing that interview, or he would have been not only in his feelings, but he would have said something in, especially, and that's on his platform too. Oh yeah, he would have had that fire, that verbal fire for a black man or a black woman. But you see, Ann Coulter gets a pass because he wants to be accepted in that world, but he ain't gonna have that smoke for her though. But like I said, if it was a black man or a black woman, oh yeah, it would have went left real quick, y'all. Think about that for a minute.
They tell you how self-hating opportunistic this dude is. And it's the thing. Ann Coulter dated an Indian dude. She dated Dinesh D'Souza. So Ann, she'll lay down with you long as she lay in a pipe in. But other than that, she don't want you to be an elected official. Long as she can get her off, she good to go. And you know what? I'm not even mad at Ann Coulter. At least she being consistent. But the thing is, through that podcast, Vivek still found a way to bring it back to black folk.
And again, what the hell does black people have to do with any of this? Somebody please tell me. They just got to find a way to lump us in somehow. And Harvey has been saying that for years. And I agree. We had nothing to do with that conversation. But or you know what? I just thought of this. Okay, so is it possible that in addition to what I said earlier about wanting to be accepted by the GOP and all of them and not being accepted, not being receptive to you, or is the thinking being that you want to bring black people in it because you feel as though we should come to your defense, the quote unquote coalition, and that's something that Harvey has always railed against too. The coalition. Did you want to bring in the coalition when it suits you, when it's best for you? But outside of that, you don't got no smoke for them, but you'll have smoke for us, and then you want to bring us into it. We ain't have a damn thing to do with this, man. Come on, Harvey.
Well, when I was on the south side of Chicago and talking about, they were talking about we built this country and we're black. He said, I don't think black people should be on anything. Reparations, if it was talking about years ago, 18 something, they could have got something, but I don't think they own nothing. This generation doesn't know anything. I don't believe in affirmative action. It's not meant to just, why you don't believe it? Because you're not going to get it. Your ancestors didn't build this country. Black people were still sharecropping as late as 1970 something. There's still black people in this country still suffering tonight. Bill Maher and his white guest was still trying to say that black folks should be thankful. This country is a lot better for whom? For whom? The little smug motherfucker can sit up here and talk about what black folks can do. You wouldn't be here if it was for black folk.
Exactly.
But see, what we did is we let our pastors who thought that we just sing kumbaya. Everybody like, look at these people. They so forgiving. Gosh darn. We see the error of our ways.
Gosh darn.
Let's go embrace it. No. This is why when people talk about this coalition, what coalition?
See, there it is. He going into it, y'all. I just said that a few moments ago. Yeah. Shout out to Harvey.
Now, what? I'll take that. What's that dude? Roll Con? What was his name from California? When the next was out here talking shit. He the only one that I've seen read out and say, "Hey, Dinesh." I'm not Dinesh. I keep saying that Vivek is not but a young version of Dinesh, but Vivek, he said, Vivek need to understand if it was for Black America, we wouldn't be able to do what we do. Nikki Haley, same way. Nikki Haley was dismissive of racism, but then she said she experienced racism. They forget, Nikki Haley forget, when her father came to this country, they wouldn't hire me to go teach at a black college. A black university, excuse me. But see, they want to be white so bad, they can taste it. See, white people who are racist, and there's a difference between white people who are racist and white people who are not. White people are racist, they let you sit at the table, they may let you get a little taste. No, I'll tell you this, they may let you get a sniff.
Barely.
They put the food right in front of you. They let you get a sniff, and that sniff enticing. Ooh, I get to taste that good old ham.
And when they feel that you're getting too much, they'll yank it back with the quickness.
The ham is a metaphor. Ooh, I get to taste, smell some of that turkey. It's a metaphor. Ooh, that cake looks so delicious. Oh my gosh, I just can't wait to taste it. You might take your finger and taste some of the glaze off the ham, tastes good. And you just, I just want to taste so bad. So you do anything to get a taste of it.
Side note, that just made me think of something. It's totally unrelated, but when I heard Harvey say that, it made me think back to the Jizzle line, from Fourth Chamber. Veterans got their game spiced like ham. I don't know why I thought that, but okay, let's keep moving, y'all.
And if you got somebody else to get it, you would do it. See, black folk, we already know. We gotta do with the leftovers. We gotta do with the scraps. We gotta make something out of the scraps. And we're tired of it. A lot of us, we don't care to sit at the table. We don't expect to sit at the table. We do our own thing. But this bastard, he got money. We figured, no, I don't want them niggas to have anything. They don't need no reparations. It's not for you to say. How dare you put yourself into our conversations?
That's what they do.
This is why black folks should be yelling when everybody else talking about what we don't need. We should. This is why I hear people saying, "Oh, I'm not going to vote." Nah, that's the dumbest thing I think you can say.
Bam, there it is. Okay, I was waiting for that part. So now, somewhere down the line, probably before we get to the election, I am going to do an extended pulse on voting. But like I told you, if you've been following me for the last couple of months, I've often said that as a future politician, one of my top 3 things that I have my attention, if you will, is voting rights. Voting is one of the cornerstones of our democracy. That may sound like a cliche talking point, but in my case, it's not. I participate in every election, local, state, and federal. And in my view, voting is something that should not be taken for granted because our people, I stress our people, fought and died for us to have the right to vote. And anytime I hear people, especially those who would gladly tell you that they're not going to vote or they're going to sit at home or whatever, no, that's not an option to me, and it shouldn't be an option to nobody else because it should never be celebrated or championed to not vote. Because then if certain things happen and you had no say, then what you gonna do? You're gonna just throw up your hands and say, oh, well, it doesn't work like that, And then what also bothers me is the people who openly celebrate that they're not going to vote, but then still want to complain about political issues. It don't work that way, So I would always push back against that. So then, if voting rights are taken away fully, then what you gonna do? Then we're gonna have to go through the whole rigmarole again of getting the right to vote, and if it's gone, it's gone. So I just wanted to throw that in there, So, with all due respect, don't step to me or any self-respecting person and say you're not going to vote, but you're still going to have some comments on certain issues of the day from a political standpoint. No, we're not doing that. We don't do that over here in Team Discipline, okay? We can always have a discussion, but I'm not trying to hear and I'm not going to justify sitting out in elections. I'm not going to do that.
If you want reparations, the only way you're going to get it is the government is going to have to give it. You just can't say, give me something and don't put your foot in the game. Every time you don't vote, you let people like this get in office or get out on TV.
Yep.
The moment Vivek stopped popping on TV, when he went on HBO, first thing we should have told our cable providers or our apples, you sub to your services, you say, hey, we don't want your services. We don't want your services. You're gonna have people like your Viveks on them. No, we don't want that. This dude was on Bill Maher's shirt at least 3 times talking about black folk. We ain't getting nothing to this motherfucker.
Exactly.
Here, serious, we ain't getting nothing to him. I mean, I have to think about it. If any black person sit down and wrote a book and said something, the Indian people, all the things they've done to our people during the 80s and 90s and the 2000s. I mean, think about it. They, for the last 30 years, 40 years, these bastards was their mothers and fathers and grandparents, and when they was kids or they was out, because this motherfucker is a millennial. Okay, he's a millennial. This motherfucker's born, 84?
Yeah, so he If he was born in 84, that means he's my age because
84, 85, around that time, he's a fucking millennial. This motherfucker.
Yeah, pardon me, y'all. I thought I had paused it right there. So yeah, if he was born in 84, that means we're the same age. We're 30, he's 39, I'm 39. I turned 40 on June 25th. So yeah, I just wanted to set it again.
Okay. This dude reaped the benefits of our parents group, the baby boomers. This fucker, I'm telling you what happened. They came over here on some visa because they didn't run right into the white neighborhoods. Because I'm gonna tell you what they did. They ran into certain neighborhoods. They got they got government aid. They got aid. They got some welfare. Come on. Because I'm telling you, I've seen it. When I got hurt, when I came on, I was waiting to get some money to help support myself. I went to try to go get some aid for a second. Because when I got hurt, I came on, I had no money. When I walked in that room, I saw Indian, Asian, Latino. I'm like, huh? But they tell you that we the ones on the government tip. Here it is, we paying taxes, and these fuckers are getting all the benefits. Then they turn around and had the nerve to pass it. These Americans are lazy. Then I'm watching various people who are white and they're trying to sit there and say, Ann Coulter was wrong when she said no, she was consistent.
In a sense, she told him how she felt. Okay.
Why y'all defending this dude? Y'all didn't call it when Vivek was talking all this shit about black folk the last 3 years. Y'all didn't come out and say this bastard was a racist. But when Ann Coulter did shit after him, y'all feel sorry for him. No. Old girl Ashley Banfield, back when the Me Too movement, before it was called the Me Too movement, when he went on a date with that white woman and she said something about he was verbally or visually made me feel something she said made her feel uncomfortable. Ashley Banfield went to go defend the Indian comic.
I remember that. And I think that what I'm not sure if Harvey has his timeline off just by a little bit, but I want to say that did happen during the Me Too era. I think it did. You know, I could be wrong or he could be wrong, but either way, I do remember him doing a few videos like about that, and I did see Ashley Banfield's actual video, and yeah, she went in on that video too. You know, y'all got to check that out.
But there was a black man. She like he made her feel uncomfortable. No, I'm like, why is she defend that dude? And that's when I realized. I said, I forgot. That's when I realized that the Indian is in. Remember Mindy Kaling? She just like Leah Dunn. They gave her a TV show. Adam, remember Oprah had and Mindy Kaling around her? You come to find out her brother was a racist towards black folk. We ain't getting nothing to these motherfuckers.
Exactly.
They came into our neighborhoods and got fed off us. They brought drugs, alcohol, guns into our neighborhood, just like the Asians and the Latinos, all of them. All these groups and got fed off us the last 50, 60 years, and then get on TV and they want to slam us. And then when they start getting in trouble, where black people at? Why y'all not saying nothing? Really?
Yep. That's the problem.
Dude got like Jimmy Neutron with that fucking hairstyle. But man, Ann Coulter, he lost his best friend. So that little smirk went away. Then I got a big ass kick out of that one. I mean, I said woo. But he still found a way to bring it back to black folk. But I'm looking at the articles, Ann Coulter racism. I'm like, beginning of time, y'all wouldn't come out call Ann Coulter racist. Because y'all trying to protect these motherfuckers. Y'all know these motherfuckers do anything to be around white folk. And Vivek is proving it. They can talk about him like a dog. They can dismiss him all day. We still gonna go out there and defend them.
Right.
Right? I guarantee you, if there was a black person that said what he said to Vivek, he was saying he'd be screaming bloody murder.
I ain't lying. It'll be a worldwide story, but let's keep it moving.
Don Lemon didn't come at him nasty. And I'm not defending Don, but right is right. Look how he talked about Don. Went to Megyn Kelly, talked all this shit about Don Lemon. Look how he attacked them black professors. So when people talk about forgive and don't judge them, I'm like, none of them have not proved me wrong. They have not. They've only proved me right. Mindy Kaling, brother, when he did nothing to him, he joined that Steve Blum with the Supreme Court. He was up there cheering about it. Like, what do we do to these people? And let me say something to my brothers and sisters. While we out here jaw jacking about what celebrity said to something to who, we should be talking about this. And you got Emmanuel Acho. He's out there doing that. He and Vivek is a teller. These people, all these people do is attack Black America. We ain't did nothing to them. See, they look at us as an obstacle. You Black Americans, we got to get you out of the way. But see, in the process, we got to make you the villain of the story. This is why I get frustrated when I look at a lot of our brothers and sisters across the country that engage in this self-destructive behavior. We let all these motherfuckers come into our community and bring all that poison and cause all this friction. People keep saying, how do drugs and guns get in our neighborhood? You're looking at people like Vivek and them. People like the John Leguizamos of the world. Your Asian looking people. I'm sorry, I'm using people's examples because think about it. When Biden won, it was the Black folks that got him in. Everybody held their nose and they voted.
Now, me personally, I didn't hold my nose. I just go ahead and set it off the record. Biden isn't perfect. Then again, no president has been or will ever be perfect, but I didn't hold my nose. And yes, I do agree. It was us that came out and supported him and got him in the White House. And quite frankly, I'll go ahead and say it. I have no problem saying it. I'm voting for him again this year. I ain't voting for no Donald damn Trump. You can forget that. But yeah, it was us that made that happen.
What the first thing age community do? It threw us under the bus. The Jewish community, they always do it, but then you have the Hispanic community. We got to bite in. What did even LaGoria do? We got to bite it in. and we like, what?
They played a role in it, but let's be clear, it was us that made that possible.
Everybody does this, but the Indian community, they didn't really gone hard. They really showing Black for like, we're gonna cut your throat. We're gonna go out and say the most racist things, and you just going to accept it. I mean, Nikki Haley and we know Donald Trump is no racist, but Nikki Haley and Vivek, man, they ain't went out here and said some shit the last year or so. And then people saying, well, Nikki Haley got a Black son-in-law. That's her son-in-law. Her daughter doing him. Don't equate because her daughter got a son-in-law that if they absolve her, her racism. But see, they just keep proving me right. They keep proving me right. But I'm laughing. Just check this out. Ann Coulter tells Vivek Ramaswamy she would never vote for him because you're Indian. Look at his face. Look at his face when she said it. They got the screenshot of him looking like he lost his puppy. Like, Ann Coulter.
About to shed some tears, man.
Sorry. Look at his face. Oh man, that's not what image I want. Oh, come on, man. Let me go back. You got lost it. Crap. See, I hate that. There you go. Here you go, right here. Look at him. But before that, he was smiling when she made a joke about, yeah, you're not black. I can make you say you ticklet. Then he started talking about black folk doing. I mean, this dude. But look how the media is talking about Ann Coulter is going in on Ann Coulter. Failed Republican primary candidate Vivek Ramaswamy praised Ann Coulter for having the guts to make racist remark directly to his face. I ain't never heard nobody. Oh boy.
Oh Jesus.
Miss Coulter, conservative firebrand with a history of opening racist remarks, appeared on Businessman podcast Truth on Wednesday for episode titled "The N-Word, Nationalism." The N-Word. Mr. Robertson welcomed Miss Coulter by telling her he's a fan. She implied that he's a bright and articulate and notes that she wouldn't be allowed to say that to him if he was a Black American, because Ann Coulter know that that's condescending by saying that we're articulate. Because she already know when she dated Jimmy Walker, I'm pretty sure Jimmy Walker is schooled on that too. But she already know that it's condescending when you hear somebody say, "Why are you articulate?"
And let me say this briefly. There over the years, and I want to say probably dating back to when Obama was elected, and I'm sure Harvey would say this too. There's this connotation that when somebody calls a Black man or even a Black woman articulate, there's a bit of insult there. Now, I do slightly want to push back on that. Now, then again, looking at this in real time, or just coming to this conclusion, I'm like, okay, it depends on what context is used in. Now, if somebody refers to me as articulate and it's and the meaning behind it is legit or it makes sense, then yes. But if you're saying that we're articulate in a way to say you're too articulate for a Black man or something close to that, then yeah, that would be considered an insult. So it's kind of a two sides thing, if you will. And let me know in the comments what you think about that. So so I just wanted to throw that in there too.
And because everybody know, every Black person know that's not a compliment when they say it. You know what I mean? Yeah, but she was like, "You're Indian. I couldn't vote for you." She goes on to say that even though she agreed with him more than most other GOP primary candidates, she would not have voted for him to be president because he's Indian. Boy, that was so hilarious. Oh boy. That doesn't mean he talking about we can't take any more people. I mean, she like, Ann Coulter me flat out to my face. She wouldn't vote me because you're Indian. Excuse me. Oh boy, that was funny as hell, man. That was funny.
Shout out to Harvey.
And I know. Oh boy. I mean, dude, he wants to be accepted that bad. I mean, look at that smile on his face. Look at him. Look at his face. Look at that smile. This feels so fast. Look at him. Look at his face. Look at him. Look how it disappeared. Mm-hmm. Look at him. Boom. Look at him. Because he knows it's coming. Boom. Look at him. He wanted to say something. He couldn't say anything. Look at his face. Look how he look at him. He wanted to say something so bad, he couldn't say anything.
Nope.
He sold his soul.
Clearly.
You want to be accepted so bad, dude, you ain't white. You would never be white. But dude figure if I go in on Black people and just go in, and he don't go in on the Asians, he don't go on the Hispanics, he don't go on gays, he don't go on Arabs, he go on the group that everybody's going, he goes on Black. And they do it every election cycle. Everybody goes in on us. Everybody. because they know we fractured. They know there's a segment of us where either we're scared to say something, or we're oblivious to what's going on, or we don't know how to articulate our points, or we got people in our community who just don't give a damn about anything or anybody. So it's always a small group of us that's always playing out things. I mean, this dude, if it wasn't for black folk, he would be up in India somewhere, shitting in a hole, wiping his ass with his bare hands, poor hygiene. I mean, I can go in on it. I really can go in and stop and just making fun of people. Have you noticed all in India, you watch those specials, the kids always born some fucked up birth defect?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, serious. They live in utter filth. They mess with their siblings. They having sex with animals. I mean, but yet we the freaks of the world, huh?
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
I'm not making this shit up. And then dude had a nerve to want to sit back and say, I don't believe in affirmative action. Black folks haven't really benefited from action. That's why black folks really didn't trip about when they went after affirmative action. We thought people being hypocrites. I don't believe in reparations. It's not for you. I mean, I don't know. I with some shit. I want to say something really, really nasty. But like I said, I gotta be very careful what I say. Everybody talking about Tim Scott, kissing Trump ass. For some reason, they don't talk about. I'm telling y'all, the Indians are in right at the moment. Vivek went out there and talked about like a dog. And you know, if the media haven't talked about this, but they want to talk about Tim Scott.
Yeah, the media not going to talk about this.
Here it is on The View. Yesterday and today, nobody's talking about this. But they're talking about Tim Scott. I'm telling y'all, I'm telling you, see them on TV right now. They're the golden ones, and they're gonna do everything in power and do whatever they can to stay at that table and just the idea of them being able to sniff that turkey, that ham, be able to look at this, the fantasize about tasting that cake. They're gonna do everything in power to keep it that way. Now, you Indian, and that's not you, then you need to start calling out your Viveks of the world, your Nikki Haley's, the Nishes of the world, your Fareed Zakar, and they sit back and they talk all this shit. We ain't did nothing to these bastards.
And Fareed Zakar is another one that has this, I don't want to call him nasty, but just has this condescending, arrogant way about him. You can tell it in his facial expressions too, Yeah, but yeah, Harvey's been talking about him too. I think Harvey should do another video on him as well.
All they do is sit back and talk shit about us. But when white folks show them how much they feel about them, they still find a way to try to make us the butt of the joke or make us the target. This is why when I hear stories about, in India, this happened, or this kid, something happened, I don't feel sorry for their ass no more. And the next time if you go to church and sometimes something happened to one of them, if your reverend or your pastor, somebody say pray for them, tell them, with all due respect, go sit on. Because these fuckers will cut our throat if you let them.
Oh, yeah.
Ann Coulter basically said that she can't stand you. But this dude didn't say nothing. And that's the thing would get me about these young Turks and the rest of them. Y'all was tripping on Ann Coulter, but y'all didn't trip on him for just letting to get away with it. But he was at the slamming black people back last summer.
I might have mentioned this in the previous video, but there was one point, basically during the Trump years when I was listening to the Young Turks, I would listen to them every day. But like in the latter part, I want to say in the latter part of 2020, I just stopped listening to them for a variety of reasons. But yeah, they don't do it for me any longer. I just wanted to throw that in there.
Into the fall, into the winter. Remember he made the coming out Juneteenth?
Yep.
Vivek like a damn fool. And I'm glad Ann Coulter said what she said. And I'm gonna tell you something. I ain't mad at Ann Coulter. I'm guess what? I'm gonna give her a hand. Bravo, Ann. Bravo. I love it. I know y'all gonna say, damn, did you cheer her racism? Yeah. Because when black folks was calling her out for years, y'all was sitting there like, are you sure? You guys, you're too sensitive. Maybe you misinterpret her. She has the freedom of speech. Then when she called out who hijacked the civil rights movement, then y'all said, oh no, Ann, Ann's way off base. Wait a minute. What? No. And black folks, we all say, no, she's right. Nope, she's on it. Nope. And she called it. And she called out the immigrants, the so-called immigrants. He said, you guys need to come on and speak the language. No, Ann was being Ann. Ann was being who she always been. Y'all should be calling out Vivek because he said then took and defended. But he had all that fire for black folk. That tell you, it proves my point that he want to be loved by white folk. He would do anything to gain their acceptance.
Anything.
And y'all want to focus on Tim Scott. That's what I was telling y'all before. I said, why everybody looking at Tim Scott, but Vivek the one out there that been insulted way more than Tim Scott. But see, the Indians that they're in right now, and they don't want anything to mess them up. So they'll throw one of us out as a sacrificial lamb. But I'm telling y'all, watch your TV, watch your commercials, watch your movies, watch your television shows, and you're gonna say, oh wow, I'm not making this up. They're the end at the moment.
Yeah.
But I just, like I said, I gotta give Ann, she being Ann Coulter. But I don't recall it ever being that blunt to somebody black saying, I'm not voting for you because you're black. No, she said that looked easy for Vivek. And Vivek, like he lost his best friend and he couldn't say shit. And he wouldn't say it because he know that he want to be invited to the fancy clubs. He want to sit there and say, I know Donald Trump. I want to be there and make myself look like a big shot. So I go back home and say, Mom, Dad, I know this person. Sean Hannity came in a certain way. He didn't say shit about Sean Hannity.
And I think Harvey did a video on that too, that interview with Sean Hannity. I want to say he did.
Don Lemon pushed back a little bit. And when Don Lemon lost his job, he ran like, see, Don Lemon in the left and the extreme left, but he was chilly. But see, I shouldn't be shocked at people like him. They was in our community selling guns and drugs, fucking with our women and children. And I would say a lot of our kids went missing. I guarantee you, the motherfuckers at night snatched them up and took them somewhere, into some slavery. You don't believe me? That's not exaggeration. A lot of shady shit went down our community back in the day, still do. And you got a lot of these motherfuckers have been a part of it. And nobody, yeah, I remember me and my father comes, he said, these motherfuckers got these stores in our neighborhood. Nobody questioned the dude that got the corner store or the store in the middle of the block. People coming in and out of your neighborhood and vans and cars. You don't know who the hell they are. You short a penny, put it back. Follow you around, so like you gonna steal, but they in your neighborhood.
Right.
Then the kids go off to school and they turn around and kids think they're better than you. I went to this university. Where you go? What do you do? I live in this neighborhood. I vacation here. But they think they accept it. Oh, but it was lovely. But I love it. I love it. I love it. So, but like I said, I ain't mad at Ann did, but Ann does. And the media is sitting there like, Ann culture blatant racism. The media's full of shit.
Yeah. Bless their hearts.
But it couldn't happen to a nicer person. Vivek somebody had to beat Vivek up. And even if they beat him up, he still wouldn't turn on racist white folk. He still be there with it. He found a way to say, I just got my ass kicked, but I still like you.
Or find some way to bring black people in it. All right, so shout out to Harvey on that particular video. Yeah, that was another good one for him. So I don't have any additional thoughts outside of what I've already said. So y'all let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about my thoughts. Let me know what you think about Harvey's video, as well as Vivek Ramaswamy overall. You know, what are your thoughts lie? You know, let me know. But outside of that, we've come to the end of this particular video. If you like what you heard and you're ready to become part of Team Discipline, go ahead and hit that like button and drop some comments if you're feeling the content, of course. And last but not least, hit that subscribe button along with the bell so you're notified when I drop new videos. And until next time, my people, take care of yourselves and remember the power of the mind is valuable.